Let's explore some sacred geometry secrets, ether and the elements, and the way people try to manipulate energy. On an energetic flow level, picture the connection of two pyramids. Vertices and the idea of energy flow. It has to do with ether and how shapes converge energy into structured electromagnetic forces. This really ties in with cymatics and frequency used to levitate stone, and full circle back to the bees and their frequency allowing them to levitate. And the mystery of their flight, which is shape forms converting ether, which is one step away from a powerful mind with a measurable energy output converting ether / energy into whatever. Which begs the question, what is art? Art and music are basically mega sigils. Quick dive into ether being removed from the periodic table in 1908 as soon as we entered the industrialized Rockefeller world. This was a way to hide the fact that there was hidden tech built right into the realm. This is all for entertainment, by the way. This is all elite esoteric knowledge. Ether is also connected to the scalar field and scalar waves, which is basically this net all around us, which is basically the matrix we're all in, simulated tech environment with spiritual tech built in. By the way, the scalar field and scalar waves have finally been admitted after being declassified 20 years ago. Guess they didn't have anything else to do, finally got around to it. Appreciate it, fellas. This same field, the scalar field, is the same as the Akashic Records, or the informed field. It contains all sorts of information, thought forms, and energy. It's related to terms like zero-point energy, and really ties into the idea of free energy, the Tartarian model, Tesla free energy, and even on other levels, quantum computers, the quantum realm, and even stuff CERN is doing, future plug. It also connects with the electricity, magnetism, and the mind. Ties in ideas like feng shui, basically a subconscious energetic calculation, managing all the energy and matter around you by proper spatial arrangement. This all connects with knowledge of the elements.
You see here the atom. Keep in mind how the Elohim created Adam as an Adam and Eve. The Elohim, the elements, electricity, electrons, and even words like elite and elders. Now when God created all this, it was a Taurus field, and the sign that man was created under was Taurus the bull. That was the time of Adam and Eve. This also ties into the elements, the periodic table, where did it come from, and the understanding of all these things, and how the Platonic solids are embedded into the very fabric and nature of creation. All elements form crystal structures, and this is the idea of controlling matter with energy. Let's take a look at a few crystal structures. Hydrogen as an H2O has a hexagonal structure. So does carbon. Carbon-12, the basis for many life forms, so this is kind of like tapping into the computer code of the Matrix. Ancient mystery schools, ancient Egyptians, and things with the occult also deal with this principle, and is the basis for the Force and Star Wars. Gold and oxygen both have cubic structures, and onto a fascinating Mercury thread for a second. Mercury has a very interesting structure and was the key to a lot of old alchemy things, including the Philosopher's Stone. Spinning Mercury can create magnetic levitation, and the speed at which Mercury moves is the reason why Mercury, the fast-moving planet, was labeled this in the sky. These two elements, barium and aluminum, Baal is what they keep finding with the chemtrail. What I find fascinating is with the Baal demonic sigil that we've matched up to an emoji, look at what he's spraying out of the nostrils, just like the BAL and the chemtrail. This understanding of the elements and manipulation of matter also ties into Metatron's cube and infinite geometric possibilities.
All matter carries a charge, and there's basically a continuous change of vortices between electrons and this larger field, tying in with earlier in shape power, and also mudras, the shapes people make with their hands, and even mudras while talking. Some of the time it's even basically like hand sigil invoking, or conjuring, and I'm sure this is also at the origin of gang signs and throwing up gang symbols. Hand mudras, by the way, while talking is the idea of setting shape power through also combining with the frequency of your voice. And the combining of these two is supposed to create energy projected outward from your field, into the field. Also, aside from the gang symbol origin, this also ties in with the Hebrew Birkat Kohanim Shin blessing, holding up the hands with the Shin symbol and then speaking a blessing, a frequency blessing over the people of God. Think of the idea of a firewall code, very specific shapes and symbols designed in a very specific way to keep stuff out. Changing any part makes it not work. This is like changing any part of the Word of God or instructions. It doesn't work. This is also like when you're interacting with the field. It's very specific. Does this work? Should you do it? Well, like a wise man said, be wise as a serpent, but innocent as a dove. And just like the metaphor of art, the world is your canvas. It's whatever you want to paint it with. You can paint for yourself or paint for others. I would advise against harmful intentions for others. Seems to come back on the person. Plus, righteousness is always the best frequency. You don't need to calculate anything. You don't need to do anything other than be righteous. And you're automatically protected and automatically attracting good things to you. Building energetic firewalls, the exact word of God, and being righteous. You'll be protected. In close, what's really interesting, we mentioned the atom earlier and elements. When you zoom in on an atom, It just dissolves into a non-physical field of oscillating light. Interesting, that word atom, and then Adam as in Adam and Eve. And tying back into the art question, what kind of artist or man or woman do you want to be? That's for you to decide with your life. We're going to pick up real soon on a secret that Metatron's cube is hiding, as well as one sacred geometry is also hiding. We're going to return to the Shin blessing for some more hidden info, and also visit secret messages contained within frequencies and a lot more. See you soon.